Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom, and today I've got more of the September 2022 Brimfield Flea Market. This will be my last video of the September show, but don't worry, the May 2023 show is coming up just in a few weeks, so stay tuned. First up is this Action Max video game system from about 1987. I very rarely see those for sale. The thing about them, though, is that it's not really a video game system like a Sega or a Nintendo. It basically uses a VCR tape, and then you shoot at the screen with a light gun. So it's kind of weird. I've never actually seen one in person. This is a GoBots character named Rogun, and I looked it up online. It's from 1984, and they only sell for about $10 to $20, so they're pretty cheap. A comparable Transformer toy would go for way more than that. And that just goes to show how much more popular the Transformers were than the GoBots.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna guess this seller is roughly my age because this is all the stuff I grew up with. The Sega Master System, laser tag, and Capsella. I had all of these.
Oh my god.
I actually own this same Sega Master System in box. I remember I bought it in the late 90s. It would have been one of my first purchases on eBay, and I distinctly remember paying $45 for it, which nowadays would be unheard of. They seem to sell for about $160 on the low end to up to $450 on the high end per recent eBay sales. And it varies wildly based on the condition. So if the box is really beat up, it's going to be on the lower end, and if it's a mint condition box, it's going to be on the high end. And I actually have a few of these games too. I have Choplifter, which is a pretty good game. It's one of my favorites back in the old days. Hang On, I have that, and I also have Zaxxon, and honestly I can't remember the rest of the games. I haven't played them in a while, and they're all in my storage unit at this point.
Oh yeah, she jumped in and out of kitchen windows a lot. I'm just gonna pull this out of there.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, I guess he left it because it's still wet.
Oh.
He doesn't want the box.
Yeah, that makes sense. How much are you asking on the Master System?
So the Master System with the 3D glasses in front and all the games, my beginning offer is $500.
Oh, okay.
I will tell you that one controller, the joystick is broken off on.
Okay.
But other than that, it's got the 3D glasses.
Yeah, I used to have that when it came out. I got the 3D glasses and everything.
Yeah.
Of course, got rid of it. Who knows where it is now? In a
Probably
landfill. Yeah.
Yep.
I hope
That's
not.
why when you find them, even if there is something like that, they're still great to find.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just picked it up yesterday, actually.
Oh, okay.
Just got it yesterday.
Yep. God.
Grandma used to have something like this, Katie.
I have the base system, which just is the controllers and this in a box.
Yep. The second one, well, that's the Mark III or
That,
something.
I think that's. I'm pretty sure that's the original.
It is, but they call it the
Master-
Mark III or something like
Oh,
that.
maybe the box.
MK2000.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then yours is the base, and then they went to Genesis
Yep.
after that. Yep.
Nice.
It's fun stuff.
Sure is.
Fun stuff. I got I picked up one of the ones that has like 60 games in it, and that's just what I use now. It is
One of the modern ones, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All in ones, yeah.
Then I don't have to worry about finding Mortal Kombat and all that stuff again. But the only thing wrong with that is it uses a wireless controller, and the wireless on it sucks.
There's a lot of delay in that.
Yeah, I'm like, I want my wired controller back.
It's better, that's for sure. That's definitely a lot more than I paid back in the late 90s. Like I said, I paid $45, and now he's asking $500 plus. But he does have the 3D glasses as well, and the 3D glasses go for about $150 from what I've seen online. So based on modern pricing, his price is probably just about right, even though it is on the higher end. And these are wacky packages from the late 60s, early 70s. These were actually the inspiration for Garbage Pail Kids. And a long time ago at Brimfield, I found a bunch of these first series ones for, I think it was $2 for a whole stack like this, and I bought them, and I think they ended up being worth a few $1,000s once I had them professionally graded. It was pretty much one of the greatest finds of all time.
Picture of your teddy bears?
That was probably about 10 to 15 years ago, and you just don't find deals like that anymore. Or at least they're much less common now. Here's a whole bunch of uranium glass. And this is a little bit unusual in that the seller has a UV flashlight out that people can use to test it themselves. And you don't see that too often. That's nice to see. Oh, I almost forgot. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. It really helps. Thanks.
What?
On the ground there, I think that's the back glass from an Evel Knievel pinball machine, probably from the mid-70s most likely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Minimum,
awesome.
right?
Minimum.
The whole house should be clean.
That's right.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Enjoy it.
If you're looking for vintage toys from the 60s or 70s, this is definitely the booth to come to. It's kind of overload with how much great stuff there is. I think I mentioned it in one of my earlier episodes, but one of the things I was seeing a lot of at this show was blow mold Christmas decorations like that Santa Claus and those candles there. You'll see them a lot in this video especially, and they tend to go for a ton of money. That one there was, I think, $140, which is actually on the low side from what I've seen. I have seen a lot of them up in the $200-300 range, which I think is overpriced, but that's just my opinion. I do have to apologize if I am skipping over a lot of stuff. You just have to remember at this point I'd been at the show for roughly 6 hours and it was about 90 degrees. So I was kind of wiped out at this point, honestly. If it were earlier in the day, I almost certainly would have stopped and looked at some of this in a bit more detail. I do like that Monsters magazine poster there. That is pretty cool. And this clown head, it's only $75. That sounds cheap to me. I'm not sure what that's from though. I don't know if that's from like a restaurant or something, or if that's just something some guy made out of paper mache 40, 50 years ago. If anybody knows what that's from, let me know in the comments. Here's something you don't see every day at a flea market, a prosthetic leg.
So, I figured it out.
And it doesn't look that old to me. That looks fairly modern.
You sure?
I think I can move a few things around.
Here's more of those blow mold Christmas decorations.
I want you guys to come out.
This painting is interesting, I guess. Not really my style. Now, I thought this was pretty cool. This is a McDonald's McKids sign from about 1987. This would have been hanging in a McDonald's restaurant. I was only able to find one sold auction on eBay, and that one sold for $923. So I don't know what that guy was asking for it, but it's probably more than I can afford. If it's there next time, I'll ask. Here's a great selection of old sci-fi and fantasy paperbacks from probably maybe some late 60s up through the early 90s roughly. He was asking $5 a book, which is on a little bit of the high side. I can find them at book sales for a lot less than that. But he did have discounts the more you bought.
There's maybe 4 people that have gone through. There's definitely things to be found still.
Yeah, okay.
And if you're mainly looking for reading, if you find anything that are missing a cover, please just take it.
Okay.
I'm far more interested in I have them. I paid money so that they find good homes, not to make money on those.
Right.
I just saw this is a good collection. You know, like there was a lot of fun stuff.
Yep, yep. When it comes to paperback books, I'm more into the older ones, like 70s and earlier. And this one jumped out at me, but as you can see, it's literally falling apart. But there is definitely a lot of great stuff in there.
Having more $2 board game things, my friend's putting them up on the wall. Yeah, for her.
Steve wanted me to use his money.
This Whirlybird helicopter toy is pretty cool. This is from the early 60s. He's asking $200 for it. I looked it up online. It seems to sell for about $150 to $250, so $200 is probably just about right. And who knows, you might be able to negotiate it down a bit. But that was more than I was willing to pay at that point.
What size is he?
That doll there on the ground's a little bit too realistic for my liking. He kind of looks like Chucky from Child's Play.
That's my first thought. I stayed home too much.
This is the Fonz pinball machine from 1976. He was asking $200 for it. I was only able to find one sold listing on eBay though, and that one went for $140. But it's only one sale, so I can't really say that it's worth $140 or $200. It's kind of hard to say, but $200 doesn't sound unreasonable to me, assuming it works. I wish I got a better view of this, but this is a Dale Gunn arcade machine from, he says 1947, but online it says it's 1949. This would be an electromechanical arcade machine, not electronic. And that's pretty awesome. $250 sounds very good to me. Again, especially if it works, but you never see those for sale. As you might know, I'm really into vintage computer equipment, and this is a DataPoint 8200. It's an old terminal system from, I'm guessing, the mid to late 70s. I wasn't able to find too much detail on it online, but I never see those for sale. I've never seen that model for sale before, and I almost never see terminals or computers of any sort from that 70s era at flea markets. So I thought that was pretty cool. There's a whole bunch of old Mickey Mouse toys. Probably mostly from the 60s or 70s, I'm guessing.
sind Sie haben keine Heimweh?
Immer Heimweh.
Ja, genau hier.
Immer Heimweh.
Und meine Schwester auch. Aber die ist sehr wohl auch.
Ja.
And yet more blow mold decorations. Those ones are obviously Halloween, but there's also, as you can see, a lot of Christmas ones in here too.
Did you ever look up the Diane Tyler's?
No, I haven't been.
Oh, okay.
At least they're back on the crazy schedule or what?
Did you ever look up the Diane Tyler's?
No, I haven't been.
Oh, okay.
At least they're back to normal.
One or two, I forgot.
How's pace today? Slow. Slow? Very slow. I've got room on my prices too, keep that in mind. Oh, I was talking to him, but yeah, I got room on my prices. No,
I was drawn to this Robie Senior right away. I actually had this exact toy back in the 80s. I don't know what happened to it, but it got lost at some point, and I've never seen one for sale before in the original box, so that's pretty amazing.
I remember, you were a mess. You had no tent or board. Yep. Wally bringing flea market stuff because he thought this was like a Belmore type junk market. Yeah. DVDs and plastic snowball makers for July Brimfield.
Hey, excuse me.
Yes.
How much is the Robie Senior?
The Robie I was asking $275.
Okay, thanks.
The original cassette is in the cassette player.
Oh, okay.
The tray comes off and it pops out.
Yeah, no, I used to have one. Don't know what happened to it though.
You have another one right now.
Yeah, I know it. $275 is just a bit more than I was willing to spend. I went on eBay and I did see a sold listing for one of those in the box for about $210, not including shipping. So if you figure in shipping, $275 probably isn't that bad. But if it's still there in May, in a few weeks when I go back, I'm definitely going to ask about it again and see if he can go a bit lower. And if he can, I may potentially buy it. But of course, it'll probably be sold by that point. These old mall kiddie rides are awesome. That's all I can say about them. They're awesome. They're just, I'm sure, way more expensive than I can afford, and they're enormous, so I could never fit them anywhere in my place. But these are great. I used to ride those all the time back in the 80s when I was a kid. I'm assuming this car body here was from a go-kart or something like that. But that's pretty cool too. Just wish it had the actual go-kart to go with it.
Also color.
Oh my God.
These are probably the oldest blow mold Christmas decorations I've seen. I'm guessing those are probably from the 40s or 50s. And I can only imagine how much they were asking for those.
She's a little mother with
Buddy Rich again?
no.
This Donald Duck is carnival chalkware. Basically, this would have been given away as a prize at a carnival back in apparently the 30s to 50s, from what I could see online. And surprisingly, they don't sell for that much on eBay. They sell for as little as $5 up to about $50. So much less expensive than I would think they would be.
Probably get that old that's still there.
Well, I
Again, no. Leave it up there, you know, what happened to it, whatever. Leave it up there. Yeah. When he died, and he said, well, we'll have back.
Yeah, I do.
You give me it on other bag, so I can get it.
A couple of days it's going.
Right in this box. Your father will not give it to you, even though it's for Lillian. Why? I don't know. Oh, no.
And even more Christmas blow mold decorations.
Got it.
I would say nowadays you're seeing easily 10 times the number you would have seen even a few years ago.
No, until you sign it, it doesn't go through. And the other one, we got it, and we accidentally put our fingers over it, and instead of 35, it was 350. You know, that was, you know? What?
those have been a hard selling. Is it old bike?
Yes, sure is.
Stelber.
Never heard of Stelber.
I hadn't either. Things
Yeah.
from the 40s, New York City.
Oh, okay. These are old business ledgers. I'm guessing from probably the late 1800s, early 1900s. Not sure what the business was exactly, but I love seeing old stuff like this. And the handwriting, look at that. I can read cursive handwriting, unlike, you know, most kids nowadays, but that is very neat handwriting. Very neat. That's from somebody that writes with cursive all day long, unlike nowadays where I write with cursive maybe once a week, usually when I'm just signing my name. Pretty cool.
Hold on. Hi guys. Hi. Isn't it cool? So let me show you how it works. This is how I got it, right? locks up like this. This locks up. This doesn't come on now. The only way it opens, the key, but then you hold the key up, and this releases that top and hinge, and now the bottle is. So.
How much is it?
Do like 600. One of them just sold. The only one that I found that has this mechanism and this front part of it, sold for $2,200. And the other ones I see that's selling for like 15, 18.
And there you have it. That's the end of the September 2022 Brimfield Flea Market. I hope you liked this video and all of my other Brimfield videos. Don't worry though, like I said, the May 2023 Brimfield Flea Market is coming back in just a few weeks at the time that this video was posted. So I plan to have a lot more Brimfield videos coming up. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.